We're back at EBNTV, and we're going into Joe Budden's on my shirt versus new Rory and Mal, where Rory and Mal are actually individuals that are now working with SiriusXM, signed a $10 million deal, at least that's what we know based on the headlines. Who really knows the details of their damn contract? I don't know. I didn't read it, but Joe Budden is apparently giving some type of subliminal smoke. He a rapper. He know how to give subliminal smoke, and he know how to give direct smoke. He know when to do what he gonna do, how he gonna do it. This rate in this instance, he took to his Instagram story and he said they gonna claim that you did nothing for him when you stopped caring about him, so on and so forth. Let's give you the verbatim of which what he said. My homie said they'll question your character once you stop taking care of them. So that is going back to Joe Budden firing Rory on air and telling Mal, hey, you can come back if you want to, but damn it, I don't know why you siding with that man. You feel what I'm saying? That man is doing what that man wants to do, and you over here siding with him for what? You know what I'm saying? You my homie. Why you being weird to me? Why you being weird to me? You my homie. Why you my homie? You sided with him. I know you for years. We used to clap shorties together. You know what I'm saying? You used to hide your Todd from me. I remember. You feel what I'm saying? I remember no Quando Rondo featuring Lil Baby. I remember, brother. You know what I'm saying? You used to hide the Todd deodorant from me. That's what you did, right? But you getting mad? You think I'm hiding money from you? You know what I'm saying? First it started with the Todd, and I let you rock. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm trying to feed you and your family for years to come, and you think that I'm hiding money from you like you was hiding a Tide deodorant from me? That's crazy. You feel what I'm saying? That's crazy talk. But Joe Budden has yet to respond to my knowledge rather, about the situation on the podcast, Joe Budden Podcast. I still currently watch podcasts. It's an entertaining podcast. I've also checked out the new Rory and Mal podcast as well. You know what I'm saying? And I do like both podcasts. You know, they bring different flavors. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden is an actual broadcaster. As much as people may dislike him, I am not a person that just jumps on hate trains. When people hate you, you know, the world and entertainment industry and the music industry, they just gonna jump you. It's gonna be 1,000 people on one. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I'm not with that. I don't do the hate trains. I go off my own opinion. I am an individualistic individual. I can come up with my own thought processes. You know what I'm saying? But the new Rory and Mal podcast, they just signed a $10 million deal once again. Who knows the details of the deal? But that is the headline of which we see. We're still waiting on Joe to give his response to it. But my only thing, I would like to see consistency. They're going to be posting Tuesdays and Fridays. Can you keep up the consistency and the quality of episodes? I will say, Joe has shown that he can replace any two people in that seat. And people are falling in love with Ice and Ish the same that they fell in love with Rory and Mal. And Joe Budden, honestly, Mal said that Joe was kind of just waiting for something to happen so he can replace them and he can put people on hourly salaries. And honestly, I don't disagree. I think that Joe, at the end of the day, once he's seen that you guys thought that y'all had a certain level of responsibility and certain level of grasp on the future of the actual Joe Budden podcast and the Joe Budden network, then I'm sure he kind of was like, yo, bro, y'all think that y'all at the same level as me? It don't make no sense. And it kind of took a turn, and I think that that's where Joe probably was very much content allowing y'all to go about y'all business so he can pay his friends, Ish and Ice, a hourly salary. I guarantee they don't get nowhere near what Rory and Mal was getting at that rate, or maybe in where the certain deals where Rory and Mal said they actually also owned a percentage of the podcast itself. I doubt that Ice and Ish have a percentage of the podcast. I believe that Joe's a smart individual and learned from his damn mistakes. But I will say, man, Rory and Mal, they had issues with how the things went down. I gotta say, you shouldn't have let him change the podcast from I'll name this podcast later. I've been watching that podcast for quite some time. I first tuned in when Joe was going on a rant about leaving Complex, and then I went back and watched old episodes, and then I watched the new episodes. You know what I'm saying? And it eventually kind of fell off to me, and I didn't watch as much. But you know, drama brings people back. I gotta keep it on it. So I found out about the drama, tuned back in, and now you want to know what happened? I still watch the Joe Budden podcast actually now more than I did over the last 4 months. You think I'm saying? It actually brought me back to Joe Budden podcast, made me realize how entertaining of a broadcaster Joe Budden is. He is a trained broadcaster. He was on air at a radio station, and he's a rapper. Entertainer. He knows how to articulate his words. He knows how to control the conversation. He knows how to make a listener engage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person that's going to ride a hate train. I actually enjoy Joe Budden's content. I'm not a person that's just going to jump people when everyone is jumping you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, more power to Rory Mal. I watched the episode with individual from the LRN, I believe, LVRN or whatever that label is Summer Walker assigned to or what have you. And Earl Sweatshirt. I like Earl Sweatshirt a lot, so I watched that episode. I watched a couple of other episodes. You know what I'm saying? You know, I kind of always knew the inflated numbers that Rory and Mal was putting up was not going to last very long. Got to keep it on it. It was not going to last very long. 500,000, 400,000, it's not going to last very long, buddy. I'm not going to hold you. You know what I'm saying? But if they can maintain a certain level of audience every episode, then I will 1000% give them their props, and I'm giving them their props now for being able to get bread off of the whole debacle between Joe Budden and them. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that Sirius XM, give it up to them for knowing the landscape of what's going on and trying to get some bread back. Because you think that they gave them $10 million, that Sirius XM ain't gonna get bread from that? You know what I'm saying? They wasn't just giving $10 million away for no reason. You feel what I'm saying? They trying to make themselves players in the game. And they know that attaching themselves to people that have hype right now is gonna work in their favor. You know what I'm saying? At least they would hope so. As long as Rory and Mal can continue up the numbers of which they've been able to produce right now, where they kind of took all the people that felt really gross about what Joe did as a business person. But at the end of the day, I can kind of understand as a business owner myself certain aspects of what Joe was doing and how he thought and where, you know, from the very beginning, if you guys felt that y'all earned a certain level of responsibility and ownership of the podcast, me personally, I would never let a person name the podcast after themselves and then I would still think that they're going to treat me like I am the same level of owner of that podcast and we all had the same level of responsibility. It doesn't make sense. The name of the podcast is called the Joe Budden Podcast. To my knowledge, when Spotify was hitting people up or hitting somebody up at the Joe Budden Network about the podcast, they was hitting up Joe. They was talking to Joe. They wasn't talking to Joe Budden, Rory, and Mal. New Rory and Mal. They was talking to Joe Budden. Okay, so that's just that's the thing in and of itself. If you're gonna allow yourself to be a part of the situation, you have to make sure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. And you have to make sure what is really going on, friend or not friend. That's why it do be hard to do specific business with friends like that if you're not gonna make sure that things are very clear and concise. You kind of just allowed Joe Budden to do what he was gonna do. And Joe decided to do what he was going to do, my guy. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up being where it is. At the end of the day, you can't get fired if you have ownership of something. And that's just got it. That's just how the cookie crumble. I prefer mine with oatmeals and chocolate chips. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Taylor Elajas. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to EBN Music Media for videos daily, every damn day. Make sure you also click the notification bell so you know every time we drop a new damn video. Make sure you also check out the vlog channel, Taylor Elajas Vlogs, for daily videos. You can get a glimpse into my life past me talking to the camera for 8 to 9 minutes at the speed of light. Make sure you also go ahead and check out Taylor Elajas Instagram for videos and clips of various episodes and shows that are available on my Roku channel, EBNTV. Make sure if you have a Roku device or a smart TV, you can go ahead and go to your Roku and type in EBNTV. We will pop up over 8+ hours of all original content. Make sure you also use code EBN Collective for 20% off on all EBN apparel. We got hats, we got bags, we got things for any weather that you're experiencing around the damn globe, around the damn world. Ladies and gentlemen, I got you. We got you. Creation and innovation. Be uniquely yourself. Once again, my name is Taylor Elajas. And you're watching EBN Speaks.